In this video, I will walk you through an example for how an aerospace company might use Jama when developing a new variant of the technical control system for the Achiever UAV. This vehicle is made up of a number of safety-critical, complex subsystems requiring engineering expertise across systems, electrical, mechanical, and software. It will be used in both civil and military applications, which requires demonstration of regulatory safety and security compliance to many standards such as DO 178, DO 254, ISO 14508, and more. The heart of Jama is driven by our industry-leading collaboration technology embedded into an information-driven application architecture. Jama's clean UI is praised by analysts for ease of use, which fosters rapid, wide adoption and the reduction in silos of work across product and engineering teams. The Achiever UAV product family has multiple variants that support different operational needs. This development team has reused requirements, verifications and validations, as well as the existing security threats and vulnerabilities from a pre-existing UAV variant in Jama that has already been completed. By starting with data that has already met strict compliance standards, the company increases confidence that the new variant will meet regulatory safety and security goals. Jama's reuse functionality makes it easy to see differences between individual requirements and have a record of the lineage of the requirements for regulatory purposes. We can also compare the two variants as a whole. Changes can even be manually synced between the original and this new project, or vice versa as needed. Jama's decision tracking functionality shows what's important when. I can look at the conversations happening around an individual requirement and answer when I'm called in to provide clarification, give expert opinion on a change, or make a decision. Here I can see a resolved question that Bob answered, one of the systems engineers from the program office. I can now make the correct edit to the requirement and then notify appropriate stakeholders that the change has been made. This sort of collaboration eliminates email trails, phone, and conference calls. If there is a question about why something was changed, the versioning information directs them to the right person to talk to and shows them the change that was made. The audit record is an important part of requirements configuration management and makes it easy for the DER to audit your work. What appears to be a quick change can have impacts downstream. Rich traceability governed by trace relationship rules provides systems, hardware, and software engineers easy ways to define traces between requirements, design, and verification, and the DER to audit that trace evidence which is required to demonstrate process compliance to DO 254 and DO 178C ED 12C. Because we're looking at a system requirement, we know that it can have multiple other downstream and upstream traces tied to it, including subsystem requirements, system verifications, and software or hardware design. Any one of these might need to be updated based on the change we made to our system requirement. Because of that change, Jama automatically flags the existing downstream items that need to be, at a minimum, assessed for potential change as suspect. As the analysis is completed, the suspect flags can be cleared. Traceability can also be analyzed in aggregate to show traces as well as gaps across all data for this UAV. Saved views allows us to quickly analyze and generate traceability evidence to prove that the final design implements the requirements. In this example, from left to right, I examine the requirements to the functional verification performed to satisfy DO 254. Or I could generate that trace evidence for system requirements to software necessary for DO 178. These trace views also assist in determining gaps where traceability is missing. Jama not only shows traces between data, but also how stakeholders are related to the data. This level of information provides teams insight into exactly which stakeholders are responsible or may be indirectly involved with the development or testing of the requirements. One of the problem areas with requirements and specifications is getting closure around approvals or even certifications. Jama has powerful capabilities for reviews in the form of Review Center. As the moderator, I'll first set a deadline for the review. Setting this time box communicates the expectation around feedback and will help me when I'm trying to whittle that 4-hour requirements meeting that I usually have down to an hour. I designate people to be part of the review, whether they are approvers, meaning I'll get their signature, or reviewers, who I think of as my subject matter experts. Once feedback starts to pour in from stakeholders, it's easy to see which requirements have been approved or disapproved, and the comments or proposed changes on which I need to act. Instead of jumping between documents and red lines, all stakeholders and feedback are in one place, easy to access and act upon. With the Jama Review Center, you can remove the overhead of design, validation, or certification reviews and shorten the time to regulatory certification. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in a more detailed demonstration of Jama for aerospace with one of our engineers, just reach out.